Welcome back to the Jointski. My name is Tony, and today we're going to be talking about 2024's vaporizer of the year, Storz and Bickel Venty. Let's get right into it. Listen, for the first of all, I got to tell you guys, my wife gave this to me about a couple weeks before Christmas, and I couldn't wait. She gave it to me, and I was like, all right, let me get into it. I wanted to give it a really thorough testing before I came here and gave you my honest opinion about this thing. So me and her, we've put about 120, 130 bowls through this thing. We've given it its real fair share. I've cleaned it twice, and it is, let's get into it. First of all, let's get into the packaging. First, and by the way, so if you stay tuned to the end, I'm going to show you guys how to win yourself one of these new stands for free, and I'll show you what we're doing about those things. So first things first, let's talk about the packaging. Storz and Bickel gives me a I have the volcanoes, and they're giving you a nice little packaging with this. And there's not a lot involved into this packaging. They're going to give you a few extra screens, some O-rings and stuff. You're going to get a USB-C charger included in the box. Steps on how to set it up, how to extend your warranty by a year. So really cool. Check that out. This is something that I really dig. They give you an extra year on the warranty if you register with it. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. They're really good about that kind of stuff. This company has surprised me by the way that they do their quality and in the product that they give you. So that's the box. The box is pretty basic, by the way. I'm giving you what comes with in the box in the back. Standard box, you know how it is. We'll get into the accessories in a second. So as far as the device itself, the device itself, you're going to see it's plastic. Some people are like, a little turned off by plastic. I would love metal. Forget about that. They actually went into a food grade, heat resistant, and even it doesn't even have, it's non-heat conducting plastic. So this thing doesn't get warm, doesn't get hot at all with you, especially with the top air cooling unit. It really doesn't get cold. The battery, it doesn't get hot at all. It gets really cold. The batteries, there's two dual batteries in it. You're gonna get about 80 to 90 minutes of straight use. I get about a good 6-7 sessions, depending on how long my sessions are gonna be. But it's really easy to charge. By the way, with the charging also, it has a supercharger. What basically what that means, it's kind of like what your phone is when you get a better charger, better battery, better brick on the wall. The better that boost is, the faster it'll charge. It'll give you an 80% charge in about 40 minutes. So that's pretty fast for one of these things. USB-C charging on the bottom, so it's simple to use. You're gonna get, all the buttons are gonna be orange and really light it up, easy to tactile to use. There's really no confusing this thing, especially for us. You know how we are, we like to smoke a lot. So when we get this, we're like, all right, how easy is this thing to use? One button press is really simple to use. One of the things you're going to notice, and the first thing about the device that I personally love about this is this cooling unit. I have the Volcano and I hit it and it's perfectly smooth. And I was always wondering how hot is it going to get with about an inch away from your, you know what I'm saying? Like an inch away from your mouth when you're hitting it. They did a really good path. There's a redesigned path in it. It's really easy to, really cooling for the vapor you're trying to get out of it. So keep that in mind when you're doing it, that you're not going to get any heat. And for me, one of the most important things that I've noticed is this adjustment of airflow inside of it. It has a flow meter built into it. So you don't have to actually go in there and be like, and hit it slowly. Some people say, I've had a lot of devices that smoke flower. Some of them would tell you something like, hit it like you're hitting a milkshake, or really slowly, or, it's coming out, the vapor. No. This thing, 20 liters a second. You can hit it as hard as you can. The flow meter adjusts the heat according to how hard you're hitting it. So if you're a soft hitter, fine, perfect. If you're a hard hitter, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna cool the flower, it compensates. Really neat with the design they did with this thing. I love it. Simple to put away, by the way, also when you're not using it. Put the little stand on the bottom. It's not gonna tip over anything. Remember the stand. Next thing, let's talk a little bit about how you're going to use it when you get it home for the first time. Personally, you're going to fill it with flour, of course. You're going to fill it with flour. Now, one of the things you got to be careful with when you're doing with flour is that when you're actually filling it up, you're going to see that there is actually a line. There's the bowl, ceramic bowl. It's lined with coils around it, so you don't have to worry about it. It's foolproof. You put it in, you heat it up, you don't got to worry about anything. What I would suggest is don't go past that little line. You're going to see a little line inside it. Don't go past it. There's a filter in here also that'll stop the Scooby snack from going up and down. Really simple to use. I mean, literally, you get it home. It's pretty much a little bit charged. You want to charge it fully if you want to. Add some weed. Pop it. Hold the button down. That's the cool thing about this thing also, right? So you have this nozzle front top that's easy to use. When you hit the button once, it's going to go directly to your temperature that you set it, the base temperature that you have on it. So mine is 375. If I double tap it, gives me a little bit, it gives me a boost, like a heat boost. That's gonna jump into 410 because I like the max. I use 410 at the end after if you hold down one button, it'll turn off. But I use 375 for the 90% of the actual session. And then when I start seeing that the smoke's not coming out again, I'll go in, I'll stir it a little bit. I'll show you what the little stir sticks look like. I'll stir it a little bit, pack it down, and then switch it to 410 and finish off the bowl, dump it, and we're good. That's how I like to smoke my bowls. You can do it the way you want. Now, what Storz and Bickel has done, for those of you who don't want to use it this way, they have actually made, this is pretty cool. So they gave you this doesn't come included, this is something separate. This is 50 bucks on the side. And we'll talk about the price of the Venty in a second. This is actually an accessory for your dosing capsules. So check this out. I know you think dosing capsules, what the hell is this, right? So check this out. In this package, you're gonna get the dosing capsule tray. And all you're basically gonna do is fill these up with your dosing capsules. Here I have a few here to show you what they look like. Small little thin aluminum capsules. You basically fill these up, you put them in the tray, put the liner on, throw the weed up top. It falls in, you just scoop it in, pack it in the way you want it, take this off, put the little caps on, and you're good. I made 40 of these, I went through them in like 2 days. They don't hold a lot of flour, but if you want to have a certain amount, I mean, they give you a scale, they give you a grinder. By the way, the grinder they give you in that package, pretty dope. It's a big ass grinder, nice grinder. And they give you 40 capsules. I don't find myself using the capsules too much just because I'm not getting enough of it. But if you want to actually, dose yourself correctly with the right amounts, they got you covered. Now, not to say that it's not convenient to load up 8 or 9, 10 capsules, whatever you want, put them in this little carry tray that they give you, and take these on the road with you and smoke, couple 10, 3 to 10 bowls while you're on the go. Easy to do. So there is a reason for it. I don't like using them at the house because I'm always at the house here. I'm not really smoking out of the little containers. But if I'm on the go, this is exactly what I would use. A friend of mine swear by these little capsules. I have a friend of mine out there, Diego, if you're listening. These things actually work for him. He loves them. So it depends how you like to smoke. All right, so to get that out of the way. So it comes with that. Comes with the grinder, like I said. Comes with a scale. Comes with a little scooper. And then it comes with this little plunger thing, right? So this plunger thing is actually going to be like, you're going to get it. Let me see if I can show you one really quickly. The plunger is pretty simple. What it does is this, right? You got the rubber on the top, and the plunger just kind of grabs onto the caps. So you have the caps, you have them loaded, you grab the cap and you just close them. You just cap them as you go. It's simple. It's not rocket science. It's easy to load these things. Here I am throwing shit on the floor. But anyway, let's get this out the way. I want to get into a couple more things while I talk to you about this thing, because this really, really has impressed me. The wife. Here's the thing, you gotta understand, we smoked a lot of joints, man. We probably smoked about, I don't know, 20, in the last 4 or 5 years, probably like 2,500, 3,000 joints. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's a joint. Come on now, the joint is a joint. But her thing was, the number one thing was the joint. She liked the volcano, she liked the bags, but she said it tasted earthy, and she just didn't like that taste as much. I gave her this thing. Let me tell you something. It has become her number one favorite device of mine, and I have everything. I got the Puffco Peak. I got a volcano. I have a ton of devices for smoking weed, dabs, rigs, you name it, the pivot, everything. This is her number one favorite. This is her favorite thing that I have right now because it's so easy to use, easy to clean, and easy to smoke. That's really what you're looking for in a device, and this thing really does go above and beyond that. So let's talk a little bit about how it hits. I know that's what you're here for. How does this thing hit? How strong is this thing hit? And I can't recommend it enough. Let's get a little bowl loaded right here and show you exactly what I mean. By the way, the clouds that this thing produces, you'll see. You'll see. So I like to get a little scooper. I'm going to find a link for these things. I know a couple of you have been asking, where did I even get these things? This is the actual perfect dosage. I don't know why I got so lucky, but this little scoop is the actual perfect dose for filling this little capsule up, right? So it sticks out a little bit, you push it. Don't put a lot of pressure on it. Just basically tap it down to fit it in place, and you're gonna see that right up to that rim. I gotta tell you guys, I don't know where I got this from, but I'll find out for you guys. And that's it. Easy to twist on the cap. Only one way to go. Adjust your airflow, and then you're gonna just touch the button once, hold it down, it'll start 375. Now it takes about 15 seconds to heat up. I don't like to smoke right at the 15 seconds because I want to get a little more smoke out of the beginning. If you're a flavor person, drop it down to like 365, 360, maybe a little lower if you like to, and then you're ready to go. 375, that's how fast, it already vibrated. That's how easy it is, by the way, vibration included. It actually tells you when it's gonna turn off, it'll start vibrating and let you know, hey, the session's about to end. But that's it, 375. You don't even notice anything. Like it doesn't feel like you're smoking at the beginning of this. It doesn't, there's no heat. There's no like big clouds or anything. But it starts you start seeing it. And when I inhale it, here's the thing about vaporizers, is that if it's done correctly with the cooling that this thing has, you're not gonna, it feels like you're just breathing air in, right? And the only reason you stop your inhale is you get to the top of your lungs, or you start feeling a little bit of scratchiness on the back of your throat, and that could just be from the temperature. Nothing. I feel nothing. And the clouds are good, man. This is at 375, not even the biggest clouds. Now I'm gonna turn it up to 410 just to show you guys what kind of clouds you can get out of this thing. By the way, the effects that you get on this is a little different than a joint. It's very slow moving, very smooth, gradually peaking, but you do get to the peaks of a normally getting of smoking. So don't worry about the peaks. You're not gonna get, oh, less high. No. You're gonna get just as high, but you're gonna do it in a different gradual way. It's a smoother transition. 410 is ready. It was ready a long time ago, basically a couple seconds after, but let's take a look at 410 clouds. A little bit of coughing. This temperature is a little hotter. You're not just saying you're gonna get any heat. That's another thing, by the way, the flow, the flow meter, no matter how much you hit it, you can pass it back and forth. It adjusts itself. It's great for sessioning, especially with 2 or 3 people. Easy to share and easy to smoke. What I realized, this right here, you see me take 3 or 4 big rips already. This is gonna go for about 10, 15 minutes. It won't stop. It just keeps hitting over and over. I've had other products, the Venty's. I have had the G-Pen ones, and they work a little bit, but they're not this. They're not consistent. They're not as potent. They're not as easy. You gotta always be adjusting stuff and putting in the right. No, man, this is just go. Now, but you're gonna ask. By the way, this is the airflow open, wide open. If I want to adjust it on 3, that's by the way. If I want to put it on 1, you're gonna notice that this feels more like the older products that I used to get. But it hits just as hard. It just depends on how much. So I personally put it on 3, wide open air. Give me what I got. Way smoother. All right, I'm gonna turn it off. By the way, that's another cool thing about it is you can turn it off if you're halfway through and you feel like you got a lot left in it. You can look inside and be like, okay, it's not as dark as I wanted it to be. It's still green in there. I'm good. Now, what you can do, they give you this little poker, right? They give you this little poker. It's a little device. It's like a little poker tool, a little flagging tool. What I like to do about halfway through, you don't have to do this. It's not needed, that I know of. And pack it right back down again, just to kind of stir it up a little bit. You know how we do it. Kind of like we're cooking. And then, not to use it. And then you're back. It's ripping right away. As soon as it was open to the air. If you would do that with any other device, it would have cooled down. You got to wait 30, 50 seconds, whatever it is, to heat back up. Nope. Ripping, right? Now, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to dump this because I want to show you something really quick. I want to show you, this wouldn't be the Jointski if I didn't bring in, what else can you do with this thing? What else can you ask yourself, Tony, what else can you do with this thing? It's a vaporizer. That's all you're going to do, right? Or you're just going to be smoking some vaping, and that's it, right? Whatever, it's a portable device. Let's fill this back up. Now, I'm always curious about, all right, if I buy this thing, what else can I do with it? Is it just gonna be this? Is it just gonna be that? It's only for this? I know a couple of my friends are always like, you know, if I buy that, I already have something like it, you know, I can do it out of that or whatnot. It's a very universal product. And what I mean by that is that you can take your cooling unit off, take it off, put it aside, and add the glass adapter onto it. This glass adapter, I think it's like 10 bucks. Goes right on the top. Perfect. This is not going anywhere. It's made for it. They made it perfectly. It's steel, by the way. So steel inside shaft of an actual, the rod inside, the actual piece itself is made of steel, and it has a silicone cover on it. So it's not gonna crack it's not gonna move or bend or lean over and crack your glass. I wouldn't be trying it out if it didn't, right? Super easy to do. So we're gonna click it on. Now, if you're running it through water, you can do it 375, whatever you want. I'm gonna put it on 410 just because we want you to see the actual good smoke running through it. But look, it's already ready. That's how fast this thing gets ready. 10 seconds. Boom. By the way, so 14 and 18, this is an 18, doesn't matter. It'll fit perfectly in. Solid. It's not gonna go anywhere. As a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm gonna leave it there. Now, it's been heating up for like 30 seconds. That's cool. Listen, this thing rips. If you're doing bong hits out of this thing, I'm telling you, man, this is gonna mess you up. This thing's amazing for this. I love it. I use it just like this almost all the time. Damn. Anyways, let me show you guys what to do to win yourself one of these little stands. I 3D printed these stands. They lock right in. Really simple, locking right in, clips into the front, accessible. Everything is accessible. You're not losing anything by it. The cool thing is there's actually adding a little clip holder in the back for that little gadget, that little picking tool that they give you so you can take it with you all the time. By the way, another thing that I just thought of, some of you are gonna wanna try and smoke out of this thing. Like once you get it on, they'll be like, let me hit it. Don't do that. There's no air, there's no cooling unit inside. This is straight from the heat, straight to your mouth, about 1.5 inches. You don't wanna do that. So don't be me. But no, that's it. Let me show you how to win this thing. Leave a comment, a like in the bottom. Let me know if you have a Venty. Let me know how much you like the Venty. And just let me know what color you want. I got black, blue, clear purple, and clear green. Let me know what color you want. Leave a comment and a like in the bottom. I appreciate you guys sticking around. This is the Venty review. I know it was a long-winded one, but I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.